Everyone, and welcome back. If you are new here, then hello. My name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today we have another beauty review. Today we are testing out a new foundation. This is the Revolution Skin Silk Luminous Serum Foundation. This has been out for a while, but I've not actually heard of it a lot. Revolution is quite a new brand to me. I love their, is it the Conceal and Define concealer? Their concealer is one of my all-time top favourites, but I don't think I've tried a Revolution foundation before. So I'm going to try it for the first time today. We're going to do a wear test and I'll also show you what it looks like in natural daylight as well. Today's wear test, I'm going to be putting it through the ringer because it's the hottest day of the year I think in the UK today, so I'm already sweating under these lights, so we're definitely going to be putting it through a good wear test. First off, the packaging, it's in a glass bottle, which I really like. It feels quite expensive packaging. I like the frosted bottle as well. I like it's not big and bulky and heavy, and it's also got a pump applicator. Can you take this off as well? Yeah, you can take it off as well, which is nice. It retails for £10.99, which is a great price, and it also, I've counted 20 shades online, but there might be more. It's just what's showing up on the internet at the moment. And then I'll read, as usual, a little bit of the description. So it says, combining an airy texture with light to medium coverage, Revolution's Skin Silk Serum Foundation encourages a natural airbrushed effect. So it's going to be a nice everyday foundation, I think. It's giving light to medium coverage, so you can definitely customise, and an airbrush effect sounds really nice. The formula visibly blurs, brightens and smooths the complexion while remaining comfortable on the skin. Enriched with hyaluronic acid and a blend of peptides, the foundation delivers a boost of hydration to the skin, promoting a soft, subtle texture, which sounds amazing. And it also says suitable for all skin types as well. I do like foundations at the moment that have got the skincare benefits in as well. I think if you're picking something up for an everyday use, having skincare benefits in there too just makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, we're going to try it for the first time today. I'm going to do half my face with a brush, half of my face with a sponge, and just see which I like the best. Yeah, let's just get straight into using it. The shade that I've got is, sorry I'm so hot and my hair is making me really hot, is I've got shade F8.5. So let's give it a swatch first, shall we? Oh, it feels really lightweight, and if you can see the light picking up, it looks super glowy as well. It does look quite sheer and very lightweight, so hopefully it'll be a little bit buildable as well, but I mean for an everyday foundation I usually prefer a light to medium coverage, so let's try it on my skin. There is a scent to it as well. I'm not usually a fan of scented base products or makeup products in general, to be fair, but it smells, it's not too perfumey, it actually smells quite fresh. So all I've actually done already is used the vitamin enriched moisturising primer from Primark, which I usually use most of the time before I do my makeup anyway. First I'm going to use a brush. This is the Blank Canvas F20. I really like this for foundation. So it's applying really nice with a brush. I'm going to do just a sheer layer first. It's actually giving more coverage than I was expecting, to be honest, and this is just a couple of sweeps with my brush. The shade might be a little bit light, but I can bronze it up with foundation, so that doesn't really matter. But look how nice and glowy that is. That's really nice. The only thing that I will say with my brush is that you can see a few streaks with the brush hairs. So I am probably going to have to go over with the sponge anyway, but it does give that natural radiant look, which is really nice, and it's sitting well so far. It's covered my little friend, which I've got on my chin at the moment, which is good. Yeah, I really like that. For a drugstore foundation, that's really pretty, and I think this will be a nice one. It's an everyday foundation as well. I'm going to use my beauty sponge for the other side and just see how we get on. This will probably give a more sheer layer because sponges usually do, but no, this is giving more of a sheer layer, but I quite like the finish a little bit more with the sponge, and we can build it up anyway. I mean, to be fair, they've both applied really nice. Okay, so that's one layer either side. The side which I've done with a brush has given a little bit more coverage. I'd say this is more like medium for me. I do really like it. I like how it's sitting on the skin. It's not overwhelmingly glowy, but it's just given like that really nice radiance, and it's covered everything that it needs to cover. I have got like a few brush marks though on this side, which I'd have to go over with a sponge anyway. And that's the only thing really. It could just be my brush, so I'm not really too concerned about that. This side with the sponge, it has given like a more sheer layer, which I think is nicer to start with, unless you know exactly how much coverage you want. I really like this like as a sheer coverage for like every day, or like just really really natural. You can still see like a lot of my skin showing through, you can still see like all my beauty marks and everything. This has just kind of evened everything out, whereas this has built it up just a little bit more. I like the coverage on both sides because I do prefer like more of a medium, and this would be like my finished goal, but I think it's applied a little bit better with a sponge, and I can build up this side as well. For a really hot day like this, I'd probably just keep it like this side, just really nice and sheer and natural, but we will build it up a little bit because I want to see how it lasts. But yeah, I really like the finish. It's very nice and glowy, but kind of in the right places. I'm going to build up a little bit this side and just even out my application with the sponge on this side. I've always usually preferred a sponge anyway for foundation, but sometimes if I'm using a more natural foundation like this, I often find a brush better for application because I can just really buff it in and like make it look really natural, whereas actually with this foundation I prefer it with a sponge. I think it keeps the glowiness a little bit better, and for me it's applied a little bit more even with the sponge, so I would stick to a sponge personally for myself, but honestly there's no rules, so it's just personal preference for everybody. Overall first impressions, I really really like it. For an £11 foundation it's really beautiful. I'm going to carry on and just finish off the rest of my face like I usually would, and then I can see like how long it lasts throughout the day. So I'm just going to pop a bit of concealer on. I'm using the Multitasker from Rimmel today. I'm actually running out of concealers. I need to get a few new ones, and I'll bronze it up a little bit because it is only slightly too light for me. I'm going to go for like medium coverage on everything else just to kind of match it up a little bit. It is like an everyday look for me, this is, so I'm not going to go too heavy. It's also obviously very hot, so there's no point in me piling on the makeup because I just know it won't last. Okay, then let's do a little bit of contour. I'm going to use my foundation stick from Primark. This is in the shade Chai. And I think when it comes to like reviewing a foundation, it's not just about how it applies on its own. It's also about like how it works and blends with other products as well. When you start to put like other cream and liquid products over the top, you want them to blend really well together because you don't want the foundation underneath like moving around or starting to wear off or be clingy or anything. So I think it's always important to like try these steps as well and see how everything works together. Okay, now I'm going to set with the normal powder, the Laura Mercier translucent, which is what I always set with, especially if I'm doing like a foundation review. I'm going to try and keep as much glow to the outer perimeter as possible, but I'm going to matten down the centre because that is what I would usually do, and I know it's going to be so hot today I would have to set this anyway. So I'm going to do under my eyes first. And I don't use too much under my eyes just to kind of take the tackiness away, but I think like around my nose and possibly my chin might have an issue today because of the heat. I'm going to definitely matten down like around here, and then I'm going to use a little bit of my Revolution bronzer just to bronze it up a little bit, and I tend to like pat my bronzers on rather than like sweep them around just so it doesn't move anything underneath. I've also used this as a bit of my eyeshadow today just to kind of blend like everything together. And then to finish for blush, I'm going to use one of these new Fenty Beauty ones. I absolutely love them because they're really nice and glowy. They're called the Hot Cheeks. This is in Baked Peach. And Okay, so first impressions, I think it's a really nice foundation. I like the packaging, I like the price point. I like how you can kind of customise your coverage as well for like really sheer, and then you can build it up a little bit to a nice medium. So I've built it up to like more of a medium coverage. I did prefer a sponge application rather than a brush. I just found I got like a few like streaky marks with my brush. I preferred like layering it up with a sponge. I really like the glowiness. I think it's just enough. Sometimes they can be a little bit overwhelming, but this was really nice. It's nicely like evened out all of my skin tone, which I really like, and it's covered the things that I'd like it to cover, but you can still see like some of my beauty marks showing through, which I like because it looks a little bit more natural like for every day. And yeah, for like a drugstore foundation, I think this is really pretty. So I will show you what it looks like in natural light as well. I'll leave a little clip here and then I'll leave it on for the rest of the day and see what it looks like later on. Again, I'm expecting a little bit of shininess because it is quite warm today. But yeah, hopefully it lasts really well. I don't mind glowiness like in the right areas. So yeah, we'll see how it wears with like all my products and things, and I will be back very soon. Hi everyone, I'm back and I've been wearing my makeup for about 6 hours now, and I'm actually quite impressed with how well it's lasted today. I have got a little bit shiny on my chin, which I was absolutely expecting because it is so hot today in the UK, so I knew I was going to get a bit of shininess there, but other than that it's lasted absolutely amazing. It doesn't even feel tacky. I haven't like sweated through my makeup or anything today, which I'm quite pleased with. For me, it would be like a really nice everyday foundation because you can customise whether you want it quite sheer or you can build it up a little bit where you want a bit more coverage to more of like a medium coverage, which I really like. I think for an £11 foundation, I don't think you can really go wrong with this. It's a lovely everyday. For me, I think you could wear this if you are a bit more oily or a bit more dry. I'm more dry, and it hasn't like changed at all really. It stayed the same as like when I've set it, apart from like a couple of areas. So yeah, I'm really impressed. I think if you are a bit more oily, all you would have to do is maybe just set certain areas which you tend to get more shiny throughout the day, but I think you'd be absolutely fine with this. I was just looking back at the videos that I took of myself in natural daylight as well, and this looks absolutely beautiful on the skin. It does just kind of like even everything out, blur everything out, but my skin still looks really natural, which I absolutely love. This would be like a perfect everyday foundation, and a bit more on the cheaper side as well. I do tend to use like more drugstore cheaper products for like every day because I'm using them quite a lot, and then I tend to save like my more expensive for like nights out and things like that. The scent hasn't really bothered me throughout the day, but that's the only thing that I didn't really like. I also preferred blending it with a sponge than a brush, but I mean that's personal preference to everybody as well. But yeah, overall it's lasted amazing and it looks really nice on the skin as well, and I think it's a beautiful like everyday foundation. So yeah, those are my overall first impressions, wear tests and all that jazz of the Revolution Skin Silk Luminous Serum Foundation. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you've tried this as well down in the comments. Please give it a big thumbs up as well if you did like it, and don't forget to subscribe too, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!